Hey, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home in Cincinnati, then you probably want to know what the market is doing. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video today. If this is your first time on the channel, my name is Evan. I'm a local Cincinnati realtor and I make videos all about the Cincinnati real estate market. So if you're interested in being the first to know about what's happening in this market, then please consider subscribing and make sure you hit that notification bell just so you can be the first to know when a new video is posted. And if you're thinking about making a move, whether it's right now, a few months down the line, or even a year down the line, I'd love to talk to you and answer any questions you may have. All of my information will be down in the description. All right, so if you've seen some of my other market update videos that I've done, then you'll probably know this, but just real quick, we are based here in Cincinnati, and so I'm gonna cover Hamilton County, which is where Cincinnati is located, but I'm also going to cover Butler County, Warren County, and Clermont County, all in Ohio, of course, as there are some areas in the surrounding areas of Cincinnati that people also like to have that information for, like Mason and other places like that. So we'll start off real quick and we'll look at all of them combined and then we'll break them down individually. That way, if you're looking in one particular county, you have access to information that's more accurate for that county. Also keep in mind, all of these stats are for last month, which was September. That way we have all the information for the entire month. So if you want a video on October, I'll have that posted for you in November. All right, so for all of those counties combined in September, the median sold price was $310,000, which is actually up 3% compared to this time last year. Across those counties, there's currently 3,100 or a little more actually homes on the market, which again is up from this time last year. It's actually up about 30%. And we have a median days on market of 10. So that is pretty low. So that is signaling that right now, if you are wanting to buy a home, you need to be ready to act quick. So I highly recommend making sure you already have your pre-approval letter or proof of funds, either one. And if you need access or help in getting a pre-approval, please let me know. I'd love to point you in the right direction. All right, moving on to Butler County. So Butler County, the median sold price is the same as all of them combined, $310,000. And the active inventory right now in Butler County is 592, which is up a lot compared to this time last year. It's actually up over 40% compared to this time last year. However, the median days on market has come down a little bit compared to this time last year, and it's currently sitting at 8 days for Butler County. So I would imagine next month, we'll have to see, but I would imagine we'll see that median days on market go up just a little bit as we have more inventory. So buyers are able to be a little bit more picky, and we could be seeing a signal towards a move to more of a buyer's market. However, we've been in a seller's market for quite some time now. And based on the number of homes sold in this month and the number of active listings we have in Butler County, we get to an absorption rate of 57%. And so what that means is that homes are being absorbed at a 57% rate. So we have a little less than 2 months of inventory. Another example would be if the absorption rate was, say, 33%, then you would have roughly about 3 months of inventory, as 33 times 3 is rounding up about 100, right? So that is a simple way to understand what absorption rate is, and it's not the end-all be-all, but it does help you understand what the market is doing. And generally speaking, a 15 to 20%, really around 20% absorption rate is going to be indicative of a very balanced and healthy real estate market. When you get to like 25% and above, it's indicating that there is a heavy seller's market. And when you get to below 15, it's indicating that it's a heavy buyer's market. All right, so next up, we're moving on to Clermont County, and the median sold price so far, for September this year for Clermont County is $315,000, which is actually down just a little bit of about 3%, just a little over 3% compared to this time last year. However, when you look at the entire year so far, not just doing September of this year to September of 2024, but take in year to date this year compared to year to date last year, home prices, or the median home price in Clermont County, is still up about 3%. And so that, along with the 3% increase for Butler County, is pretty typical. if you own a home, generally speaking, taking out any upgrades you do or anything like that, homes typically appreciate around 3% in a healthy market, but it can certainly be more in growing areas, and it could also be less if it's depending on the area and the maintenance and how people take care of homes in that area, things like that. So last month in September in Clermont County, there were 248 sold homes, and there were 351, or there are 351 active homes in Clermont County. So once again, in order to find our absorption rate and our monthly supply of inventory, we're going to take the number of sold homes divided by the number of actives, and we're going to get about 70%. So as you can see here, there's not a lot of homes compared to the amount of buyers we have. That means at this rate, all the homes would be absorbed in about a month and a half, right? So that means about only a third of the homes that are active, if it continues on this rate, would be available next month. Of course, there's still going to be new homes that go on the market. So again, it's not an end-all be-all, but what this data is telling us is that you need to be prepared to act quick. In fact, in Clermont County right now, the median days on market is just 9, which is up 28% compared to this time last year. So I might sound repetitive when we keep talking about these, but just it's very, very important to have a plan on how you're going to buy, what you're looking for. Make sure you have a pre-approval. I won't keep mentioning it on every county we do, but if you need a home buyer's guide or if you need to be connected with a lender, all of that stuff is in the description. All right, so next up, we're going to do Warren County, and then if you're here for Hamilton County, I'm sure a lot of people are, stick around because that one's next. So I didn't forget about Hamilton County, but we're going to talk about Warren County real quick. And if you don't know, Warren County is located north of Cincinnati in Hamilton County. It's actually where Mason is located. So if you're familiar with the Cincinnati area, you're probably familiar with Mason as it's home to Kings Island, Grey Wolf Lodge. They even have a big tennis facility there where they have a big professional tennis tournament every year. So it's a big city, the biggest in Warren County. And so home prices do reflect that. So the median home price in September for Warren County is coming in at $422,000 and $450. So $422,000 just about. And that is actually up about 7% compared to this month last year. So Mason has been growing for a while now, like not just in the last few years, but the last decade plus. But it's continuing to see growth. Many people here are looking to relocate here because of the awesome schools, because of the job opportunities. Procter & Gamble has some places located up here, as well as a headquarter in downtown Cincinnati. Many people that relocate to work for Kroger in downtown move into Mason. So it's a great area to still have access to downtown Cincinnati, but you don't have to live in the city and experience that city life all the time. As far as active inventory, there are currently 460 homes active in Warren County, which is up 47% compared to this time last year, which is insane. So it's crazy to think that these numbers are still less than what we've experienced in 2021 and some of 2022, but it's still great that we're seeing that growth because we're rebounding back to a more stabilized and healthy market. And then we had 224 homes sold in Warren County in September, which is up about 18%. So insane growth here in September compared to 2024. Now, I will say the median days on market is up astronomically here in Warren County. It's actually up 150% compared to September of last year. It's sitting at 13 days, which is still by no means a long time, but that is good news again for buyers as you have maybe just a little bit more time, a few more options. Seeing that inventory go up almost 50%, you're gonna expect to see the median days on market also go up because again, buyers have more options. So that's great news for buyers. If those numbers keep going up, we're gonna see a shift into a buyer's market in Warren County, which is good news if you are thinking about buying. And so our absorption rate in Warren County for the month of September was 48%. You can round up to about 49%. So still very high and still heavily favored for sellers. But again, with the numbers we just talked about, we could be seeing a trend towards a buyer's market. Hamilton County is up next, but before we get there, if you're thinking about a move or you have questions that you thought of while watching this video, I just want to say all my contact information is down below. I do get calls, texts, and emails from you guys like every single day, and it's awesome. So if you have a question at all, please reach out. It doesn't matter if your move's today or next week or even a year from now. It's totally okay. It's never too early to ask questions about this process. And also, if you could do me a favor, if you've watched this far, thank you. If you could hit like, it just helps this video get out to more people like you. And consider subscribing if you haven't, just so you can be the first to know about the Cincinnati real estate market. That's enough rambling from me. Let's get on to Hamilton County. The median sold price in Hamilton County for September 2025 comes in at a little over $277,000, which is up about 5% compared to September of last year. So once again, even though it's up, I mean, Cincinnati is so affordable. You really can't beat it when you're comparing it to other major cities. This is why people, many investors, and also first-time home buyers are considering Cincinnati. I'm actually working with a couple first-time home buyers that have reached out in the last week and a couple investors as well. And they've all mentioned that the price and how far your dollar can go in Cincinnati is a reason for that. So if you're coming from another city, even if it's another Midwest city like Chicago, Cincinnati cannot be beat when it comes to affordability. In Hamilton County in September, we saw 744 homes sold, and we have 1,700, a little over 1,700 homes still on the market, which is crazy. That number is actually up 30% compared to last year. And the median days on market is 10. So again, it's not a long time to be on the market. So if a home is in a great location and it's marketed well and priced well, it is going to fly off the shelves. And I've said that in the last few market updates I've done, but it continues to be true. I do think we're going to get a little bit of a trend towards a buyer's market. I said that in the last market video as well. It's happening, but it's slow. But again, I think 2026 especially is going to be where we see even more movement towards a buyer's market. I'm not sure if we'll get down to having absorption rates of single digits, but maybe we can get it below that 50 and 40% marker and around that 20-25% mark. So the absorption rate for Hamilton County is, for September at least, is 43%. So it's the best for buyers out of all the counties we talked about. So again, we're seeing that trend towards a buyer's market. It's just happening slow. It's not going to happen like that unless there was just an insane economic factor that played into that. If you watched my last Cincinnati real estate market update video, the absorption rate in Hamilton County then was about 52%. So I know I sound like a broken record when I say like, hey, we're trending towards a buyer's market, and really maybe I should use like, we're just cooling off from an insane seller's market. But it's true, we are trending that way. It's just taking a little bit of time. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you. One of the most important things in the buying or selling process is just being in the know. So whether you choose to use a real estate agent and whether you use me or another agent, you really just want to make sure you have knowledge of what the market is doing so you can know the best time to buy and sell. If you have any questions or you need advice on anything, no strings attached. Again, my information is down below. Please let me know what videos you would like to see. If there's a video you want to see, comment below. I'll make sure to do that for you. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.